that hopefully you can put in your pocket. The Cavs win over the Utah Jazz last night. Pretty sizable margin there.
Big win.
111-91 is the final. Jazz are a good team this season.
Yeah, they were pretty banged up yesterday. I think they only had 9 players available, and then one of their starters got tossed because he got 2 technicals. So they were down to just 8 players. So
yeah, 10 players. They were down to 10, lost by 20 points. Cavs are 3-1 on the West Coast. So they're looking good. They are going to play again tomorrow night. They're off tonight, and then they'll play the Spurs in San Antonio tomorrow night. That's an 8:30 start. They're talking about trading Ricky Rubio.
Ricky Rubio and Colin Sexton are the names that keep getting thrown around, which kind of a bummer because I like both those guys, and they're both out for the season. So it's like you're just trading people that aren't even getting a chance to play.
I do love when they roll
contract stuff.
I do love when they roll stats out because you can fine-tune statistics and just make them, stats are fun. Mm-hmm. But I'll give you an example. So they go, Darius Garland joined LeBron James as the only Cavalier over the past quarter century to log a triple-double through 3 quarters. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can find, Evan Mobley became the first Cavs rookie with 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists in a game since LeBron did it in 2003. The people who have to collate these things, I'd love to pick their brains because I guess you can probably drill down on any given player and look at what they've done over that game or over their progression in the season and go, who else did this and how did they do it and where did they do it? And the possibilities are endless.
Yeah, but I also feel like what gets me is that guys who are super into sports are like, amazing. I can't believe it. What a record. And it's like all that, and you're like, that's incredible.
Well, it is. I mean, that's an elite company.
You can find that about anything, though.
You still have to get the stats, though. You still have to get the triple-double. So in the case of the Darius Garland triple-double, he got a triple-double in the third quarter of last night's game, and he's the first person to do that since LeBron.
There are plenty of scrubs not getting any stats. Yeah. So, you can find.
when they do something that specific, you're like, well, that's a weird arbitrary stat, but it also is a rare stat because not many players get triple-doubles, and it's even more rare for players to get a triple-double by the third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, but to Mary's point, okay, so Evan Mobley, he was the first player to wear 2 different color laces in the first half since Muggsy Bogues in '89 with the Charlotte Hornets.
This is what I'm saying.
I just made that up.
I know, but
nevertheless,
that's real. That's what people get worked up about.
No, that's not a stat.
Yes, it is.
People wearing laces is not
it's a stat.
Anything anyone's
it's technically a stat.
People get worked up about actual production on the court.
He's the first person in 43 years to score a point in the first 9 seconds of a game without using his left hand. And people are like, unbelievable. I can't believe he did that.
He was only the second player ever to complete 6 rebounds in the fourth quarter by landing on both feet at the same time while playing for a team that finished with a losing record. Not since Charlie Chris on the '81 Clippers did a guy do that.
Amazing. Give him a trophy.
Oh, my God.
I think you guys are just jealous of their accomplishments.
Is that what it is?
Of course. So. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'd love to be a millionaire playing a kid's game.
Oh,
wouldn't be fantastic. Of course. We're all jealous.
All right, but
here I am walking around with 2 different laces. Nobody's giving me a trophy.
Now, obviously, none of us are going to make it into the NBA, but what's the kids' game that you feel like you could dominate at if you turned it into a professional sport that had like millions of dollars at stake? Yeah, like a kids' game.
I was really good at kickball.
Tiddly
like
wins.
That?
You think you could be? Yeah, I mean, that's if that's what you want to say, but I feel like kickball is so rooted in athleticism.
If I had to start right now in the exact fitness that I'm in?
No, like something that as a kid you were dominant at, and then it could have carried over to like a professional game. Like Foursquare is the one that I'm like, I was pretty good at Foursquare.
I didn't dominate.
Tetherball too.
I don't even know what Foursquare is. I didn't.
Really?
No, I didn't dominate in any athletic activity as a child. Not one.
But I also feel like the reason I was good at Foursquare is because I would play that when I didn't get picked for any other games.
Now, what is Foursquare?
There's
I know
4
the old digital
squares.
application.
It's a big giant square that's split into 4 smaller squares.
So far, this is very literal.
Yes, and there's one child in each square, okay? And you have a kickball, bouncy ball, and you have to hit it into another person's square one bounce, and then that person has to hit it into another person's square. And if you miss, you're out. And
So these squares are not all.
around.
You're not super close to the other
No,
people.
it's a pretty big. It's not. I mean, it's a.
I mean,
it's a
it's for
decent
kids,
size.
so it's. I think it's probably like 10 by 10.
Yeah, 10 feet by 10 feet probably. So your square is 2.5 feet by 2.5 feet.
This
Is that
doesn't
math
sound
right? No, that
it
math's
doesn't
not
sound
right.
like a
5 feet
difficult
by 5
game
feet.
though.
No, but you can
It's
add
really
spin
hard to.
on it.
It's
You
really
can hit
hard
it to
to
a certain.
imagine how big the squares are because we were little kids when we played.
It felt
so
huge.
it felt gigantic, but it like now here like 2 feet by 2.5 feet by 2.5 feet. That doesn't seem right at all.
No,
That
that's
doesn't
why I was
seem-
like, that math's not right either.
Yeah, maybe it's 15 feet. I don't know.
I have no
Yeah,
idea.
I can't
But
remember.
the placement of where you hit it into their square is important. So if you hit it past them on the side and they can't get to it in time, or if you hit it right in
If they can't get to it in time, so you got to kind of bounce it in there.
like
or
how
Yeah.
tennis works. One bounce and you have to hit it back, except
this-
with your hand and a
But
kickball.
this isn't the court, so to speak. It's not as big as a tennis. I mean,
no, you know, it's
a
probably 5 by
square.
5.
It's a
Like,
square.
yeah, it's probably like each square, if I'm remembering, is probably about 5 feet.
That would make it 10 by 10.
Yeah.
Because there's two. It's
Yeah.
a square.
Yeah.
basically, what squid game do you think you would be best
Could
at?
make money at, though.
Could you make money at? Being
I
Not
feel
for a
like
square. I was no good at that.
Maybe, or even like a board game
Tic-tac-toe?
or something. Tic-tac-toe? Ooh, tic-tac-toe is a good one.
Rock, paper, scissors?
Connect 4. I was really good at Connect 4.
Yeah, but there's no skill to those games. No skill to rock,
You
paper,
have to
scissors.
choose what you
Absolutely
put
skill.
out. You got to read your partner. It's like a poker
229.
game. Oh, God.
Got to choose what you put out.
It's like a poker game. You're not playing the cards so much as you're playing your opponent. That's how
No, I
rock,
understand,
paper,
but you
scissors
don't
goes.
know what they're going to put out either.
Gotta watch them.
Right, but you try and manipulate them
How?
by making select moves and seeing how they react to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
You gotta figure out their
It's like
tell?
a more simple version of chess.
Yeah, but
because there's-
nobody's putting that much work into rock, paper, scissors.
not playing it right
Rock,
then.
paper, scissors is supposed to be rock, paper, scissors, shoot. You know, that's supposed to
probably
be
lose a
fun.
lot.
No, I win a lot. That's why you know it's by chance, because there's no skill to it. Poker
There
is a
skill.
game of skill.
There's skill in rock, paper, scissors. You have to be skilled enough to choose which one you choose.
But how would you're both doing it
Mind
at the
games.
same time.
You go based off of what they've already done, what you've already done.
So you're
how
memorizing.
quickly
No one's
their eyes
memorizing.
are
No,
shifting.
stop it. No one's memorizing. What
You're
somebody
watching the
else.
sweat build up on their brow.
How
You're
they
trying
react.
you're not breaking eye contact so you don't have any tells.
Yep. Mm-hmm. More to it.
Anywho, yeah, no, I would. There would be no childhood game that would spring to my mind, and I'd go, yeah, I could.
A hand clapping game. I don't know if you guys ever did
What,
that. That was
that's
more
like
of a
the
little girl
girl,
thing.
yeah.
Like it would slide. And
Imagine that being on TV and people just watching
Yeah.
it as
And
intensely.
It's like high stakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Miss Mary Mac, all dressed in black. All those. We did all those.
How did you learn those?
You just learn
I've
them.
seen them, but how do you learn them?
You literally just learn them from another kid on the
Do you
playground.
have practice? So you have choreography?
You
have,
practice with the
you're just
person.
doing
They
it,
teach
yeah.
you how to do it, and then you just do it more.
Were you ever a child?
He wasn't. He came out of the womb 45 years old.
Well, I mean, I didn't do. You just said clapping games were for girls, so
Yeah.
that cuts me out of that.
Right, but you
I
never
was
saw
I
girls
was-
playing these?
Of course, but I didn't know what it was called, and my question remains the same. How do you learn how to do those?
Someone teaches you.
Someone teaches you. I was picked last for everything, so there was no child's game where I was going to be like, yay, I'm great at this. There was no game where they were like, get Alan, he's amazing at this game. And I went to Catholic school, so we weren't playing like, I don't know, we weren't playing Foursquare, we weren't,
What did you do at recess?
I don't know, try to stay out of the way of people are trying to beat me up. I don't know.
Maybe that's the game for you.
We
Yeah.
played,
Freeze tag.
yeah, I'm sure I don't know. I don't remember that far back, but I'm sure we did a few things.
Hula hooping. I was very good at hula hooping and jump rope.
I don't think we had dodgeball in gym class. I don't think
watching
my
it.
school was a dodgeball school.
Like watching a person, especially a girl that's really good at hula hooping, very cool.
I'm pretty good at it.
Like, and it can be sexy because of the hips and stuff, but also just some of those people that spend all their time hula hooping and they can do all sorts of weird tricks and craziness. It just
like an
blows
art
my
form.
mind. Yeah, it's
People
like a
practice
dance.
it. Yeah.
It's awesome.
I got to give you some money here. It's $1,000 to be precise. A shot for you to go fund to yourself. Listen closely for the keyword right here, and good luck.
The Buzzard wants you to go fund yourself and score $1,000. Enter the nationwide keyword family at WMMS.com. That's family. Enter it now at WMMS.com. And good luck from Buzzard Radio.
Alan Cox Show After Hours line. Anytime you just want to leave us a message there, you can. 216. Write it down. 216-986-8903.
Hi, I am just checking in because I have an awkward laughter story that occurred in my life like 8 or 9 years ago, and I just wanted to share this to go with the topic. It happened at a funeral. My one of my friend's moms passed away, and we were at her funeral waiting for it to start, and I was sitting in a pew with a few of my best friends, and as the funeral was about to start, this giant guy who was standing a few pews in front of us decided to wave at somebody who was behind us coming into the church, and he just had this like huge, inappropriate sized wave. Like, I think he was smiling too, and it was just so awkward and random that it made me laugh. Even though I was really sad at this funeral, it just made me laugh, and I couldn't stop laughing to the point where I had to bury my head in my chest to try to just hide the fact that I was laughing at this funeral. And then on top of that, the funeral started with bagpipes, really loud, awkward bagpipes. And I don't know how you feel about bagpipes, but when I hear bagpipes, it's like they're not the best instrument on the planet, or the most graceful instrument on the planet. So I heard the bagpipes start, and I'm still laughing, and everybody is silent, and I'm just like trying to bury my face into my friend's shoulder just to try to get myself to calm down. And luckily the funeral eventually got sad, and I calmed down. But yeah, that is real awkward laughter at a funeral. So that's it. That's the end of the story.
Luckily, the funeral got real sad.
Luckily, it finally got sad.
Yeah. I heard a lot of bagpipes growing up because you go to a lot of Irish funerals. I always thought bagpipes at a funeral were so sad.
Yeah.
So sad. I never think of the bagpipes as being like a happy.
It's not a happy
I can see how
thing.
they're annoying to some people, but when you
very
hear them at a
annoying.
funeral,
They're happy
oh
on
my
St.
God.
Patrick's Day.
I still hear bagpipes as just being very sad because I associate them with funerals. And so when they're, I'm sure, piping in a different octave or something in a parade, it might be a little bit jauntier. But yesterday, Poundcake could not control himself. He was laughing at
600-pound
fatties
life.
to beat the band. Yeah, we were talking about my 600-pound life. And he was just
Smitten.
Joyful.
Smitten.
Yes.
smitten. He got the giggles. Yeah, I made a little montage for you.
My jaw hurts. Stop. Stop making me laugh.
He could not get enough.
Having the best time.
Wow.
I don't want to do that again because that I was severely in pain. Like I felt like I worked out. I was
You
like,
think you're in pain? Imagine the pain that they're feeling as they are stuck in those houses.
Shut up, Bill. Damn it, I hate it. I hate it here. I want to go home.
Look, you're such a mess, dude.
My jaw hurts. Stop. It's a deep one.
I think he bruised a couple of ribs there.
He gets so excited about it.
Yeah. Clearly, Alan had zero friends. I had friends, just none of us were picked for games. That's why we were friends.
You still don't remember what you were doing.
I mean,
Running around,
doesn't
playing
seem like
tag.
you
I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't doing anything that
Joyous.
I was. Well, no, I wasn't doing anything that I was good at. So if the question is, what did you play as a kid that you were really good at? My answer is nothing.
We're not even asking you if you're good at anything. We're asking, what did you do during recess? We've given up on trying to find something you're good at when you were a child. We're trying to find out, what did you do to try and have fun during
The 30 minutes a
playtime?
day you're
Yes.
allowed.
Yeah, we were. How long?
Half hour. Recess.
30 minutes for recess?
Yeah, half hour.
Wow.
Lunch and recess were each a half hour.
Holy camole.
What was yours? 8 minutes of walk around in shame time?
You better scarf it down, and you get maybe 15 minutes for recess. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Catholic school, they want to get you back in there and tell you what an awful human being you are and how you're going to hell, and they can't waste any time on that. Alan, me and my brothers were at our grandfather's funeral in church, and after we took communion, I told my brothers that I was going to be burping Christ all day now, and we were laughing so hard that my little brother farted, and it was all over.
Nice. Then you fall out.
Yeah, then you fall out.
Well, because you're thinking of, if I'm burping Christ, he just farted Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Andrew.
Heyo.
What's up?
Well, I have an awkward story. I was sitting at my ex-girlfriend's grandma's funeral, and my mom's ringtone was "Be Prepared" from The Lion King. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, in my jacket pocket, starts playing the song right in the middle of somebody's eulogy.
Yeah.
And just everybody lost it. Everybody turned and looked, and it was just hilarious.
But the beginning of that
They all
song.
lost it. They had a great
Yes,
time
the beginning of that song is so ominous.
So this is playing. It was instrumental, or it was them singing?
Oh, no, it had the song and everything.
Be prepared.
Yep.
Wow. All right.
What a weird thing to have as your ringtone.
I know.
To scare.
But maybe
right?
it's a little daily affirmation. Be prepared for the Lion King. Thank you, Andrew.
Talking kings in succession. Even you can't be caught unawares.
That's Jeremy Irons. Is that who's singing there?
Yeah. I think
He
so.
played
The
Scar.
original.
sang
Jeremy
it too.
Irons, yeah.
Yes. And where do we feature? Just listen to teacher. I love this movie.
Yeah, I saw it once. It was a few months back.
It came out in like 1993 or 1994. So
Something
it was
like that, yeah.
Perfect for my age.
My daughter and I watched it. We were both watching it for the
94.
first time.
Did she cry when Mufasa
She
died?
did. She
Yeah.
sobbed, yes. And then we had to kind of tell her, hey, these movies, someone always usually, I can't believe they waited this long. Somebody always dies at the beginning, but then it gets fine.
Well, they let
Disney
you-
And
movies,
also-
they kill a parent, and then the rest of the movie is them coming back
It'll
from
be
it.
a cloud. It'll be okay.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
They let you see the bond he has with his son before they kill him off in this one.
They have to get you invested.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Mike is calling from the west coast of Ohio. What's going on, Mike? How's life out there on the west coast?
Oh, hey, Alan. Hate the show. I think you got your wires crossed a little bit, though. This
Oh.
is Mr. Free Share.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, this is Mr. Free Share calling.
Mr. Free Share.
my friend-
Okay.
Yeah, my friends call me Breath, but my maiden name is Breath of. I was just listening to you guys' sports evaluation there of Foursquare and your statistics that you were throwing out there, and I know you guys have had a lot of trouble with not having much in the way of Cleveland sports knowledge or fanatics inside the building, and I just wanted to offer some help. I do my own podcast, Breathe of Free Share, Cleveland Sports Podcast.
Yeah.
Completely plugged into the local Foursquare schoolyard community very well.
That's a line, boy. If you're covering elementary school sports, you have to tread a very fine line there. You have to have all your T's crossed and your I's dotted so that nobody thinks you're doing anything untoward on the playground, being a grown man.
Yes, exactly. There's a lot of triple doubles in the size of the squares that exist there. You kind of have 3 double square games. It's a whole new model. It's really crazy what these kids are doing these days.
Well, listen, I'm glad you're out there finding the stars of tomorrow.
Well, yes, thank you. Yeah, remember the Breath of Fresh Air Cleveland Sports Podcast.
Right. Wherever you get your podcasts, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Middays on WMMS.
There you go. Oh, I see. He's making a Stansbury
Yes.
reference. I got you. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, Stansbury's doing middays. He's back on MMS.
But what does he know about hopscotch?
I don't know. Maybe somebody shoot him a message and say, hey, man, there's a local hopscotch league that might need some coverage here.
You know, it would be not a game that I was good at, but double dutch is impressive.
Yeah, I could do that. I was pretty good at jump rope, dude. We did jump rope for
Because
heart.
you were short and athletic, so
Yeah.
that is like if you're too tall for that, then it throws it off.
Double dutch, it's just about finding the rhythm. Actually, that might be something you'd be good at, Alan, because it's just about keeping time.
In college, I did have sex with 2 Belgian twins. So that's the closest I ever got to double dutch.
Together?
Hey-o!
Yeah.
Hey-o!
All right, this guy, I
Hey-o!
found him.
What,
I
Hans and
found him.
Franz? I made it gay.
Made it gay. Yes, he did. Yeah. And they weren't Dutch Bill.
I remember.
Right. Well, all right. Hey! Right, thank you. I've got to take a break. If you want to get a text for anything, 35192. AlanCoxShow.com for all the other stuff. And anywhere you are, you can listen on the iHeartRadio